All right, guys. You guys want to blow up your back? Saw I blow my back up. You want a mass building back workout? Try this. You want bulging lats? You want Tyrannosaurus traps? You guys want lats like Dorian Yates with half the work and half fucking genetics? You want to figure out how to not work hard, get big? You want this is the shortcut channel. In the continuing theme of bad trainers and helping bad trainers become good trainers, because let's just not shit on them. You can always get better. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's like called like kinesthetic cueing. I think if you look up the actual term of it, it's like when you touch a muscle or a body part that's you're trying to target, you're helping that person make like a connection to it, right? So you're in essence like, oh, especially if it's like a rear muscle, like a back muscle, it's like you're kind of touching here. Or if you're understanding the motion of the person, like you're trying to like understand, like roll your shoulder, you'll see me pull people's shoulders back or rock them into this motion. I have to explain it is hard, to make them feel it is another thing. But there's this, all that shit's good. And people who do that well, you see that they do it well because one, their client starts moving in a fashion and they don't have to do it all the time anymore because they cued them and they fixed them and whatever. But then you see these trainers who like, they've seen people doing that and they're like, I know what that is. So if this is like the person's shoulders, like these are their arms going up and this is their back, and they're like doing a back pull down, they're like, right. And there's nothing happening. Like the muscle, even the muscle that you're touching isn't moving. It's not engaging, it's not contracting, it's not stretching. Nothing is fucking happening. So if your trainer is just touching your back or touching your chest or your arm or some area they're telling you to feel and you don't feel it, turn around and be like, am I supposed to feel it there? Is that why you're touching there? Because I don't. Because if I can visually see that nothing's happening, there's no way you're feeling anything. Like if it doesn't visually contract, like I said, or make some type of movement or lengthen or shorten or like, you know what I mean, open or close, nothing's fucking happening. It doesn't happen just because I touch it. I don't have a magic touch. It's like when people say like when I touch people's heads. When I'm touching people's heads, it's because I'm pushing their head back. Yeah. They don't understand I'm telling them to drive their head back or their chin back, so I'm pushing their head because they're going like this and nothing's happening. Move your head, and then it's finally like, oh, I can move my head. Because I didn't think I could move my head independently of my body before. But it's like these crappy fucking trainers and just like, it's no more evident than on like a fucking lateral raise, whether it's standing or seated on the machine. They just put their hands on their traps. Like, yes, you're supposed to keep their traps down. You don't want them going like this. I get it. So that is a cue. But you don't just put your hands like this and stare in the distance. Like,
I can't.
and then you're like, good, tap, tap. And the person's like, but meanwhile their arms like, like they're, it's like, yeah, they're keeping their traps down. That's one part, that's one of like 6 things they should be doing. That's the first thing. Okay, now what are they doing with their elbow, their hand, their like chest? Like, just like, no, just keep these fuckers down and we're good, man. Like, it just blows my mind.
Oh,
people are fucking like, expert trainer. Don't worry about how the movement's doing, just let me put my hand right there.
That's it. Magic hand.
And if they're doing chest, they're touching their chest and you see their shoulder just doing all the work. The chest isn't moving, they're like, good, chest, man. Chest, man. It's like, nothing's happening, man.
But if the trainer touches your butt, what do we say?
You say, well, I mean, if they're feeling something. Is it contracting?
Is the butt contracting?
Is it contracting?
Is the glute there?
No, we've been over that. There's a guy somewhere in the world who charges $1,000 for you to touch his, to let him touch your ass for an hour. Machine here, we're lucky to have all these fancy machines here. Nothing wrong with any of them. This machine is designed to make laterals for dummies. You can't really fuck it up. You can't really fuck it up, but everyone does. So we're sitting here and it's like we talked about before. The person's like gonna put their hand, the person puts their hands on their shoulders. It could be for standing too, it's the same shit. But they put their hands on their shoulders to keep their trap down. My movement here, I'll do it with one because you can't see the other one, should be here. Should be like a bent, like cocked elbow with an arm that's flat. So the top of my palm is flat. So that would be correct. I'm supposed to keep my trap down, rock up through, move with the momentum machine. These guys are just holding the trap down and the person's going. they're like, good. And they're fucking, like, it's like, you can see that, but instead you're like, okay, good. It's like fucking dude's arm is like rubber. Like, that's not a lateral raise. The guy after's like, I don't really feel that in my shoulders. Don't worry, you will.
You will tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not there yet, but it's coming.
Get the DOMs going. Yeah. Make sure you have a cold plunge today.
Yeah, fuck. Have a cold plunge and get your red light therapy. You know, like, someone's gonna shit on me for that. Is that like,
The red light therapy?
what is that doing? Do you know?
It's like a sauna, but it's not hot, but it promotes the same type from the sauna.
But does it?
I'll put it on the screen. I have no idea.
I want people to write in the comments the scientific data behind red light therapy.
Okay.
I'm not trolling. I really want to know. I'm ignorant to it. I just don't understand how me standing in a room with a fucking board in front of me with red lights, looking like you're fucking about to turn into the Incredible Hulk. Like when you leave the room, is there a shadow of your image behind on the wall from radiation? Like just traveling through you, igniting all my cells. So whenever I see all these fucking, a lot of people debate me online, a lot of people have a lot of shit to say, just because it's the way I see things is different, and the way I express myself and even cue people is different. I understand that. So say whatever you want, I don't give a shit. But it's like, it's so funny, I just want to like come to the defense of myself, like Vince Vaughn in Couples Retreat, where he's just like, I know my truth. I know my truth. That's gonna be my response to everybody online from now on. I know my truth. I know my truth. I know my truth.
Deal.
I know my truth.
Excuse me?
I know my truth.